Greetings and namaste. So I'm here with part two, discussing the energies of the super blue moon coming in on Wednesday, August the 30th. So this is part number two. And thank you for tuning in to my channel and for these awesome messages. So yesterday, as I discussed, if you have not watched part one, you might want to go watch it. But if so, we're going to continue with part two with additional messages. As stated yesterday, we actually had about 4 hours of messaging and integrations and healing coming in. Started with a meditation. So we're going to continue. So just a swift recap of part one is basically referring to this choice that humanity has. We are in a choice point for humanity. You have a choice. The keys are within you. And what's one of those keys? We talked about the year of the keys. This has been a year of ongoing integrations and activations. Of course, there's really no end and stop point as we are continuously evolving, continuously integrating. We did speak of not getting into a cynical energy where it's like, we've been doing this. I mean, well, what's the whole point? Is to keep going until it is done, which again is continuous evolution. So the keys to unlocking higher portals and new realities is the primary energy coming in right now is the joy energy, the joy factor. And we discussed that, covered that with the fairy courts and the fairy and elemental realms in part one. So each portal, each energy corridor, all the waves of energy, CMEs and waves coming in from the sun and other planetary spheres and galaxies are gradually increasing in power. Gradually increasing in power because we want as many people as possible to integrate these energies. And as we are grounding them in, we make it easier for the collective to ground these energies in. So many of us are being called to do this type of work, to be doing their healing, focusing on their higher self-integration, going out in nature. We are stepping up as leaders at this time, as spiritual leaders, as healers. But the key is your own higher self-integration. So it is necessary to activate and step through each portal in succession. You don't want to skip any. But whenever you're guided or you're tuning in and your higher self is guiding you to get started, get started. Get started. So we do want to discuss, we're going to get into some of the mounds here, how the mounds are assisting with grounding in this wave of energy, this energy corridor between the blue supermoon and the new moon next month in September. So there we are detecting a counter current and dulling of energies. If you've noticed, they've brought a new wave of this distorted COVID energy back in. So this is a counter current and a dulling of energies being resonated by lower energies of hopelessness, defeat, doubt, distrust, betrayal, fear of change. The key thing when we're talking about lower vibrational energy, whether or not it's energetic or whether or not it's a, physical, even an AI tone or AI frequency, even the ELF waves, energetic low frequency waves. These energies can only affect us to the degree that we are not healing, or that we are still holding trauma. They're going to affect those that are still holding trauma within their bodies and auric fields much greater than they will affect us. And that is why we are being called to counteract this energy. So this energy is not as much from external sources as people would falsely believe by giving their power away. Please don't give your power away. As we are healing and ascending, our power, our connection to Source Creator, to our higher selves is much greater and much more powerful than this energy can ever be, and they know that. These external controlling structures are only feeding off of the hopeless energy present within the collective's unhealed trauma and fear of betrayal, separation, confusion, and lack of discernment. Discernment is going to continue to be a key element that's coming up, a key element to understand within the self. You know, it's important to know or have an awareness that your level of discernment should be increasing as you are healing. If you are aware and know that you really have not started healing, then it doesn't make sense to believe you have a high level of discernment, because you don't. It's actually something that needs to be developed. So from my awareness and the awareness of other people that I know that do grid work and mounds activations, actual mounds activations, multiple sacred mounds in North America, as well as there's other sacred sites as well. Of course, all the grids across the world are being worked on. Of course, I'm going to be focusing primarily on North American mounds because that's where I am at. But a lot of them have been coming online since 2020, and more are continuing to activate, heal, and come online. So one of the mounds I want to discuss today is the Miamisburg Mound, the Miamisburg Mound here in Ohio. As this mound is integrating more and more in healing, I am becoming more aware of how this mound is supposed to function, how it used to function, and how it is currently functioning now. So the Miamisburg Mound had experienced a period of complete shutdown, and this began in 2021. So it was a period of 2021 and 2022 where this mound was taken completely offline for restorative purposes. I can see if I can find a photo. Let me see real fast. So I can show you what the mound looked like, and then I can show you what the mound looks like now. I'll actually be showing a video later. So let me see if I can find a photo real quickly. Okay. All right. So I didn't actually prepare that photo, but I do have a video prepared for you. But pretty much the mound, like the mound itself, and not even the grass around it. The mound itself had completely, like the grass had died. It had completely turned brown. My sister and I, Linda, had went out to visit the mound and check on it. And we were doing some healing, and we're like, "What's going on? Like, why is the mound like not green?" And basically we were getting, not to worry, it's undergoing a period of detoxification, of purification. It's been taken offline. It's going to be rebooted, be restored, in the future. So this occurred for about at least 9 months. So it was between 2021 and 2022. So the Miamisburg Mound had experienced a period of complete shutdown for restoration and healing, a death and rebirth cycle, and is now back online and actually functioning as it was originally intended to function. This is a huge update. This is significant. Like anyone that is aware and doing healing for the earth and the grid points should be excited to hear this. So as a healing, it actually functioned as a healing temple with galactic and earth shamans. So I originally started working directly or visiting and participating in the healing of this mound in 2019. So this mound, and I'll speak about another one, but this is one of the only mounds I've actually experienced, like, we'll say, an attempted attack with black magic from this mound. Like, obviously, the mound didn't do it. Someone had placed black magic over and around the mound. So in 2019, I had actually released a group of earth shamans. I had released a group of captured earth shamans from this mound. They had been energetically captured in their own temple, and held captive and bound, and they were not able to connect with galactic shamans anymore. And their energy they had been siphoning this energy for a couple hundred years, I guess. whenever, obviously whenever the original mounds were taken over. So these earth shamans had to be freed, and they've been actually assisting anytime we travel or go to mounds for our mounds activations since that time. So this site is actually a point of detection or serves as a sensor. And I'm aware of other sensors within, we'll say, the galaxies that sensor the different planets and galaxies and basically monitor their energy and who is needing assistance and who's needing additional support. And obviously the Earth and the Milky Way has been, we'll say we've been a top priority for a lot of these galactic sensors for the last couple hundred years, maybe. So this site is a point of detection or a sensor, sensing degraded energies that flow through the mound grid matrix. So once degraded energies are detected, what would normally happen and what's starting to happen again is that healing energy can be flowed and directed to the area in distress. So these mounds, they actually function very similar to our tree system. I was getting a lot of messages about the trees and the root system. A lot of us are familiar that when a tree dies or is dying or in distress, the root system would send energy to the distressed portions or areas to help support their healing and recovery. So this area is a meeting of elementals on all planes of earthly existence. Primarily, I was feeling air, earth, fire, water, trees, fairies, and dragons. So this mound, because it functions as a sensor, in order to corrupt that mound, or in order to corrupt our grid system, period, all sensors, the people practicing the necrogeomancy, whoever they are, they had to be taken offline strategically. So basically, when they were capturing different grid points and mounds, they realized that sometimes these sites were being restored. And so then they had to strategically go around and be sure to shut down all of the sensors so that when they did capture or corrupt a site, it was not being healed. So the Miamisburg Mound serves as a restoration site to the rest of the grid, but there's multiple sensor sites. So extra black magic was used to keep these sites under control. And what I was getting is the Miamisburg Mound actually serves as what they call a sister site. So one of the, I guess you could say mother sites or maternal sites is actually the Mount Shasta site. Mount Shasta is actually another site where I did receive, we discovered or sent some black magic and received some black magic attacks when doing healing out there. Which actually is not a big deal at either site. It was easily transmuted. But the Mount Shasta site serves similarly in a bigger function than the Miamisburg site. And lots of black magic was used there as well. So any of the grid workers or anybody guided to go out to that site, just continue to heal. That site is restoring, but I have not received that it's fully functional yet. But it's still healing at this time. So continue to send love, clearing, and healing to the Mount Shasta site as well. So as these major sensor sites come back online, because I was aware, they had told me before, like as we start activating sites, it will ripple out and spread out, just like, because it's a grid matrix, and we'll begin to activate other sites connected to it. And, just a quick note, of course, the Serpent Mound also has a direct connection to the Miamisburg Mound. So let's see here. So I did receive a message about this one's about the Miamisburg Mound. So I'll post the card here for that energy while I read it and share it with you. All right. So against the grain, the energy that the Miamisburg Mound is assisting us with, and the message, part of the message and healing process they wanted to share today. And this is from the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck. You want birds to be able to fly underwater. You want love to trump power. You want humanity to relate to each other as equals and to recognize the sacredness in you and in the world against you. Let me read that again. Sorry about that. To recognize the sacredness in you and in the world around you. I don't know where that came from. You want to unleash the beauty that hides in even the ugliest of scenes or sentiments. You want to make possible what others say cannot be. You are a radical dreamer, a sacred rebel, and you bring the light of a more positive future to this world. However, this can have its burdens. Deep within, you may feel that you don't really fit in with the rest of the world. Perhaps your sense of how things can be and how they really are is so different to the smaller minds or more fearful hearts of many others that you are rarely received for all that you offer. This might make you feel frustrated, thwarted, or lonely at times. The universe so loves you for your unusual take on things, for the quirkiness in you that dares to honor that which is different and renders the impossible possible. You must never ever lose your unusual ways and become dry, serious, appropriate, and conventional, not even for appearance's sake. You would lose your essence. You are here to show that life is about so much more than conventional success. This oracle comes with a special message for you. You are someone who lives and breathes in the depths of creative waters. You need to lose yourself to the flow of music, the flow of nature, dreams, imagination, and fantasy through art and literature, meditation, dance, and in sensual surrender to the sacred waters of the ocean, the river, the lake, or even the bathtub. You must go against the grain. It is just your way. You are not one of the followers, but one of the agitators. However, yours is not a force of disrespectful chaos. You are a loving catalyst, and by simply being yourself, you constantly remind people that there are and is always another way. This oracle comes with the particular guidance that you are meant to be exactly as you are. You are meant to be the black sheep, the rainbow sheep, and even the wild wolf in the flock of sheep. The daring butterfly spirit calling to the caterpillars. That is you. The price you paid for the gift of individuality is that you must take care of it and guard it so that you are not dulled down and conditioned into playing at being something you are not. If this has happened or is threatening to happen, this oracle brings you comfort. You will always dream of birds that fly underwater. You know that the true nature of your being can never be changed. At most, it could only be hidden for a time. Now is the time to accept that you are and allow who you are and allow your truths to be fully expressed. Don't worry about the effects of going against the grain. When we are who we are in truth, we attract the support, protection, and energy that we need to thrive. Your power comes from aligning your outward self with your inner truth, not with the general consensus. You will then find other dreamers, other wild butterflies, and atypical colored sheep to join you in conjuring better visions for our world. Look at those birds. I bet you didn't know birds could swim. Maybe in the new world they can. So, okay. See what the next message is. So, during the okay, I think I got it. So during the full moon, we will be doing some different, a honey and a water ritual for sure. The water ritual will speak of purification. The honey ritual will be of restoration in sacred ways and hidden knowledge. So we had some messages come in regarding both of these rituals. And then I have another message and another. Okay, let's get through this. So the message for the water ritual, let me share this image, is one of bringing harmony. I create harmony. What do you create? What do you create with your thoughts? What do you create with your energies? So the water purification ritual is going to be led by the Lemurian mothers, my higher self, Queen Annika, and Goddess Isis. I create harmony. The Greek philosopher Pythagoras believed in the musica universalis, or the music of the spheres, in which celestial bodies move according to mathematical equations, which produces a form of resonance or musica. If you search for the laws of harmony, you will find knowledge. Every sphere was believed to relate to a number, every number to a sound, and with their interplay, a cosmic symphony, harmoniously traveling through space, becomes a luminous metaphor which can be understood and applied in relationship to I create harmony. The Hermetic principle of correspondence from the Kabbalion, that's funny, further elucidates this idea as a way of understanding how correspondence works in a way through the various planes of the mental, spiritual, and material universe and the realms of the metallic, mineral, vegetable, and animal life forces. Harmony can be found or created when we actively seek the relationship between realms of consciousness, matter, and mind by looking for the sustenance within each substance. It is the music of the matrix, if you will. In seeking to understand and embody cosmic consonance, there are several alchemical keys to keep in mind. Planets, organs, minerals, days of the week, and archetypes each have a relationship and embody harmony of their own. The sun relates to gold, Sunday, and infinite awareness of truth's light. The moon relates to the brain, silver, Monday, and a keen perception of the layers of reality. Mercury relates to the lungs, Mercury, Wednesday, and authentic expression. Venus relates to the kidneys, copper, Friday, and the power of understanding and applied empathy. Mars relates to the gallbladder, iron, Tuesday, and wheel manifesting into action. Jupiter relates to the liver, tin, Thursday, and the capacity of creation and infinite imagination. Saturn relates to the spleen, lead, Saturday, and is a reminder that anchored wisdom is knowledge quietly embodied, not loudly articulated. As we move through each day, archetypal alchemical awareness can be the sheet music from which our life's lyrics emerge. The melody of the mind made manifest is this awareness offers the opportunity to relate more deeply to time and all that exists within the spaces of the terrestrial and the beyond. With these keys, there's the key word again, with these keys, new doors open and the creative will is empowered through activation and resonance. The universal music you transmit can be experienced by all. Harmony found in our very own choir of conscious cognizance. All right. Okay. So the additional messages the mothers were sharing about this water ritual. An easy thing to do would be to, when you go out for the full moon, the blue moon, is to take a jug of water with you. Of course, set your water outside, let it collect the energy of the blue moon. That's a great way to collect those energies, to do a purification process. There's multiple ways to purify with water. Of course, simply drinking the water after it's been sitting out in the full moon light is going to be very beneficial and powerful. Connecting into the goddess Isis energy, Queen Annika, and the Lemurian mothers is going to be very powerful. Sprinkling a little bit of water, like even, or putting some water on your hands and just kind of going over your auric field is going to be helpful. Physically sprinkling it on yourself, putting some water in a singing bowl. I've done that multiple times. Take some of that full moon water and put it in a singing bowl and play the singing bowl and just let that energy and those tones ripple outwards. Even if you do a bath the next day or that week, put some of the full moon water, add some of that water to your bath. Do a saltwater bath. Himalayan sea salt, add some crystals. Any and all crystals are beneficial at this time. Some of the crystals that came forward as far as oversoul include the fairy quartz, which we shared the message earlier, the turquoise, cobalt aura, and then aquamarine. Aquamarine, that one's a very powerful water energy crystal. Okay, so part of this water purification is going to be helping integrate energies of following your inner guidance and discernment, balance, understanding that disharmony and imbalance is what leads to infiltration in a cloudy mind, purifying the heart, coming into balance about judgment, because there is an unbalanced judgment and then there's a balanced judgment. And true judgment is really about integrating the higher self and being able to discern if another is integrating their higher self. Plain and simple, when you're not integrating the higher self, you are acting out of alignment or acting within the not self. And you're going to demonstrate behaviors, you're going to think things, or be influenced by thoughts and behaviors and belief systems that are not in alignment with the self. So dark energy, I was seeing an image of how the dark energy and the muddy energy seeps into pure waters. And that was the image I was getting when they were calling forward on this water ritual to be done on the blue moon. So when you are not afraid to trust yourself and your higher self and inner guidance, you do not give your power away. They also commented you don't give your children away. So the next one, there's a second ritual we will be doing for those gathering with me. But again, I'm sharing this so that if you feel the guidance and you know how, that you can do it as well. So the next ritual that we will be doing that day is a honey ritual. We will be getting some raw honey and actually adding some Ethereum gold. I'll show you the kind that I use. Ooh, maybe I should take a picture of it. Ethereum gold. So it's Ethereum gold actually helps with brain function. When I first started using Ethereum gold, I was actually working with, it actually felt like fairy elementals, and they were helping to integrate my left and right brain hemisphere. So Ethereum gold is very good. We will be mixing that with the raw honey, and we'll say a prayer, connect with let's see what energies came forward for that one. Archangel Jophiel and my higher self goddess Abigail will be working with those energies, bringing forward wisdom and lost knowledge, hidden knowledge, restoration of sacred ways and hidden knowledge. My higher self goddess Abigail is a goddess of wisdom and morality. And she was definitely one of the goddesses present during Atlantean times. So we will be doing that ritual. Again, that's the Ethereum gold, whether or not you get it from Enterprises or not. What is this called? Harmonic Enterprises. Gold is a very, very important element that's coming up. Of course, obviously connecting with copper. Let me see. So I think we're going to move to some of the energies and messages that were coming up about Hawaii and Maui. So we definitely got the confirmation that the Miamisburg site is definitely one of the sites that is sending assistance to Maui. So I want to share the message they were giving to us. And this message is particularly about Maui, but it's also about any area on the planet. They want to help us understand how to connect with and assist areas that are experiencing any type of destruction or degradation, whether or not it's natural or unnatural, any catastrophic events. So we're trying to basically help people tap into how do we help? Because a lot of times people feel limited, or they feel, what's the word? Is helpless, really. Like when we see these catastrophes happen, a lot of us are so caring and so loving, it really pulls at our heartstrings for the care for these people. But oftentimes we don't know how to respond or what to do. So we are reestablishing original ways that when places experience catastrophic events or damaging energies, how do we restore, help, and support them going through their healing process? How do we support others? A lot of this natural restoration energy that we as a collective can do to support smaller groups within our collective, a lot of those ways have been lost. And so I really feel a call within the collective to remember, how do we help? Because some of us might not have the physical means to help, or we might not have the financial means to help. But it's important to remember that we always have the heart energy, the love, the protective energy, the energy to send when we have people in our collective calling out for help. So the people energy, ancestors of Hawaii and ancient Lemuria, are asking us to not remain docile or complacent. You may feel overwhelmed or not sure how to help. Focus attention and holding space. Holding us in your hearts is a start. If you are able and willing to assist beyond that, you will receive the guidance and prompting to energetically and spiritually not support and protect us or protect the people of Hawaii and Lemuria is to not protect the children of the earth and our future. So when catastrophic events occur, whether man-made or natural, how do we respond to this? Nature and our functioning grid system would in the past and are now able to start sending waves of energy to those locations in distress. Same as our trees, we are being called to do the same. Many of us have already been doing this. Let's continue. Let's get stronger. Let's practice how to do this. And if any distress calls to any part of humanity arises, let us remember how to send those waves of healing, supportive, and protective love. Our energy is stronger than we realize. Do not think you're incapable of helping just because you're not there. So the goddess and mother, have a message from Beyond Lemuria I want to share here. Let me get that ready for you. So, how Lemuria is helping? Why are they experiencing this dark energy? As a matter of fact, I also was told that Hawaii is undergoing a death and rebirth cycle. and particularly Maui. But there's more than one reason why they're undergoing this cycle. Obviously, in our evolutionary process, whether you call it a dark night of the soul, a purging, a purification, there are these natural processes that will occur. Now, can there also be external interference or man-made causes that participate in these experiences? Yes. Remember, everything done against you for your bad is made for your good, or something to that degree. But the key thing we're doing is supporting them in their transition. I do feel they're actually going to rebuild a lot faster than as long as we are being supportive in their healing. They're going to be able to rebuild a lot faster than, we'll say, the powers, we'll say the opposite powers don't want them to. But what I was also feeling from them is that this is an area, there's multiple areas on the planet, but this is one area that still is able to hold, at least in the third dimensional realm, a very, or a much higher joy vibration than the rest of us. So it was kind of like there was an energy that wanted to kind of stamp that out. So we want to encourage them to remain strong and remain hopeful. So the energy coming from that area, ancient Lemuria, is one of evolution. I mean, we are ascending. So there is a higher vibrational energy in Lemuria that's still intact in that area. So growth, overcoming challenges, gracefully riding the waves of life, expanding out of a problem, flourishing in the face of change, thriving in new environments, and being unperturbed, which I know that is, I also get this energy of easier said than done. But I guarantee you, they will be supported through this transition. What does personal evolution mean to you? Is it about growth, expansion, adaptation, success, or becoming a better version of yourself? Perhaps it speaks to an ability to move through difficulties. However good we are at surfing the waves of life, we all face surging tides of challenging ups and downs at times. When we try to hide from our trials, they get even bigger or more overwhelming. We can dive into them or surf them for growth and transformation. We might also flow with the current of least resistance, allowing the waves to wash over us and inspire a deeper sense of compassion and strength. How we meet our challenges contributes to our growth and evolution. We rarely know how many fails went into someone's success. Do your best. Be aware that success is rarely instant. It may take years of persistence. The idea that a project, quest, or realization should come together quickly and perfectly can freeze creativity. Life is about the process. Success is about perseverance. This is not to say we should keep pushing uphill if we are not feeling it. Obligation does not have the passion and determination to press through challenges. The notion that love will find a way is relevant, as challenges are more likely to be surmounted when you have the spark of passion and enjoyment. Look for ways you can flourish in the face of challenge. Tap into your original passion and remember why you chose the path that brought you to where you are now. Break a problem down to its elements and be creative in how you tackle them. Consider how you make it more fun and inspiring. Alternatively, be present and ask how you can learn, grow, and become stronger through what is happening for you. Focus on the aspects of your situation that make it all worth it. Draw on the inner resources that can pull you through. You have the qualities you need to shine. You don't lose sight of the bigger picture. You may be pushed to greater and deeper learnings, and it might be an uncomfortable process, but the strength, growth, and wisdom that come from journeying through the eye of the storm and embodying this knowledge is something no teacher can show you. So what I'm also getting is there's an energy of we'll say, fallen, degraded leadership there in that area. They're, without being judgmental, because we don't know all the answers, but we'll just say that the culmination of this event taking place does also have to do with lack of proper leadership, depending on government, depending on the Red Cross, depending on FEMA, where we've actually seen through multiple catastrophes, time and time again, that these agencies are not working. So this is also a call to humanity to stand up and say, these agencies are not working. We either need to get rid of them, stop believing in them. We have this false belief that it's working. But yet, time and time again, when someone experiences, or a group of people experiences a tragedy, they relate to us. They have a hard time. They communicate to the rest of the world. They have a hard time finding the support that they thought they could depend on. You know, they watch the news too, and they see all these millions of dollars being sent over to these agencies that are supposed to have resources when these catastrophes happen, and it's not being funneled out properly to the people who need it. And we're not even going to even speak on $700 payments, $700 payments to people who not only lost their house, but they lost their whole communities. It's absolutely ridiculous. You know, but we could send millions of dollars to other people who don't even reside in this country. I think it's quite sad. There's also an energy about the children, about the children. We have to lock arms as a humanity. We have to demand that people stop being mistreated, used and abused, no matter what country or where they reside. And we got to stop with this false belief that somehow, you know, I guess you could say the Western countries are better and more protected. At this point, I think we're seeing a humanity that really none of us are protected. Our children are not being protected. And I think that's because we largely leave it up to the authorities, but we're not recognizing, or we're not willing to be aware that many of the authority figures and authorities systems have been highly infiltrated. You know, the whole fiasco of COVID should tell you something, but for some people it's not. People think these people in charge are really doing their best, maybe. I'm not sure. But I can tell you that they're not doing their best. You know, it's just really sad. So let me see. So Spirit just wants to remind us, like, a lot of these things, when it comes up, a lot of awareness is coming up that's been hidden or ignored or denied about. We've been in denial. Humanity has been operating in an energy of denial. So now they're being faced with these catastrophes, this awareness that, you know, there's basically a slave trade that exists on the earth and off the earth, but on the earth, where millions of people are being trafficked, whether or not it's for, you know, drugs, sex, trafficked for even labor is what I was trying to say. You know, slavery really has not ended, is what we're finding out. And I do believe many of us had the false idea that it had. So let me read the messages, and then I'm going to follow up with you know, what comes to me. But so when catastrophes occur, how do we respond? How do we respond? Let's please continue to send waves of energy. Just send them out, radiate them daily, you know, make it a part of your daily ritual, or when you wake up in the morning or before you go to sleep at night, to send love and energy to any groups of people that need it, to assist in their ascension, to help them with integrating energies. As Earth is going through a really tough transition at this time. The goddess and mother energy of joy, love, and laughter are very strong at this time as well. These are pure energies. We are being deceived into believing that the new earth is not possible or so far off, many of us are actually giving up, or again, I use the word cynical again because that's the energy I feel. I'm just here to pass the message that ascension is in progress. It's not going to stop. It's inevitable. The gateways, the portals, the sun activity, and the moon cycles are evidence of that process. We have a renewing and expanding awareness of that process. We are remembering this process and navigating this process with assistance beyond our higher selves, beyond ourselves, with our higher selves. We are remembering how to attune to the feel for the natural flow of energy, the natural flow of energy. Humanity has been disconnected from this flow of energy for centuries. Have patience for yourself and others. You will flow in and out of this energy until you regain your stability, your stabilization, and your foundation in this higher energy, in the new higher earth reality. There's another goddess that came through that is present, that is assisting us. You can also tune into and call on the mother energy of the goddess Aditi, Aditi. She is a matriarch of the galactic and celestial original mothers. These are the mothers who are the original serpent beings with wings. And I have seen them, yes. I have seen them, and I'm actually one with them or from that realm. So you can tune into them and connect with them. There are multiple mothers, like the DT is one of them. I'm trying to remember, was there a specific message she gave us to share? I have notes everywhere. So we'll see if Mother Aditi wants to give us an additional message, but she's definitely saying she and the other mothers are present. So we were getting reminders. The only way that distorted realities have been created by humanity is by being docile, passive, complacent, overwhelmed, confused, traumatized, and in denial. But when you face the truth, they are supporting us in facing the truth, facing our fears. Remember, fears is a false evidence that appears real. It appears real. So the key to facing your truth or facing the fear is looking at the fear and determining if it's true, if it's relevant. A lot of times when you look at your fears, you realize they're actually, what word do I want to use? They actually don't make any sense. It's like, am I really afraid of that, or is it something else? Like, face your fears. Don't just let thoughts, pass you by without addressing them. Sometimes we have fearful thoughts and we think one thought that's fearful, then we continue on to another, but we don't actually take the time to address it. We just accept these thoughts as truths. And that's why we say they're false evidence. Look at them. If you need help looking at some of your fears, contact someone, contact myself, reach out by email, set up a session. That's one way to face your fears, doing your inner child healing. But when you face your fears, the fear of the reality, you can consciously participate in the healing, conscious participation, integrating a restoration of the reality. We need to stop looking to degraded, toxic, distorted, and parasitic energies to save us. I can tell you now, no being, no energy, no angel, and no alien, or no second coming, third or fourth. Nobody's coming to save us. There is no savior. You only believe in a savior when you are operating in separation consciousness. You have assistance. You have support. All of these energies are present to support us in facing our fears. Ascension requires active participation. We each and all must remember how to fly. It's a very beautiful metaphor. When you look at birds flying, you don't see other birds flying on the backs of other birds. Each bird flies separately, but they fly as a group, but they do not fly on each other. Not even the baby birds. Baby birds got to learn how to fly too. Everybody's going to have to learn how to fly. That message has been coming through really strongly. Nobody is saving anybody. So I want to share this message too. I think we might be wrapping it up. I'll see what else comes through. But in 2011, I once said, talking within myself, talking to God, I said, I believe in you. I believe in God. I just don't believe in myself. And it was so funny because I received an immediate response. And I received as a response, if I don't believe in myself, I don't believe in God. And I could tell you, it took me several years to get some clarity and understanding as what does that actually mean? What does that statement mean? If I don't believe in myself, I don't believe in God. So this clarity over 10 years have helped me to understand that the source creator was indicating to me that I and others can trust that their higher selves, your higher self, has an outlined path to their unique ascension. We can trust that our higher selves has our highest outcome in mind and at heart. If we just trust and open ourselves to the desire, just having the desire to evolve and heal, you will receive the guidance and the promptings of what to do next. The guidance will come. The path to take will come. Who you will unite with will come and work through our healing and our ascension. We are in this together. It is our soul's purpose and journey. Ascension is inevitable. The primary directive of ascension is higher self-integration. We don't have to be fearful of connecting with people. Again, you don't have to be guarded. Like when we do shielding, it's not just to block everything. It's not to block and push away other people's energy. But it could be a transmutational shield. It doesn't have to be a blocking shield. It could transmute energy as it's coming in and without and leaving your auric space as people are interacting with you. It'll help you develop discernment. You can't tell when someone's not being honest, when someone has speaking a different intention versus what's actually in their heart. When you can tell when people are not healing as they claim to be, or maybe, they're not even aware that they need to heal, but you can feel that and you would know, maybe I shouldn't interact with them that much, or maybe I should keep my distance from them. But we want to move into a space where you're not just blocking everybody and not trusting. Like at this time, I feel a huge energy within like the disclosure and the healing communities where people just don't trust each other anymore. And their distrust is somewhat related to the awareness that these communities, but that's all of humanity, has been infiltrated. So it's not of the highest energy to move in an energy of I'm not going to trust anybody and I'm not going to let anybody in. That's not boundaries. Boundaries, think of boundaries as a door. You can open the door, you close the door. You let some in, you let some, you let some out. Some can stay for about 30 minutes and some, maybe they can stay about 4 hours. things of that nature. But you don't want to just shut everybody out. That's not healthy either. And that's not demonstrating soul growth. And that's not demonstrating that you're connecting with your higher self. Like if you're afraid to work with a healer, or be guided to a healer, because I've heard people report this, like they're afraid to work with healers because, they've heard or they came across, negative healers or people who weren't healing properly. I could tell you, especially in the beginning of my awakening, healing, and ascension, I did connect with some healers that weren't as healed as I thought they would be, or what they led me to believe. But I also learned a lesson in that, and that never at any time made me afraid to connect with another healer, a different healer, or groups of my soul family. It just expanded my awareness. Like, how do I detect when someone's not healing properly? How do I detect that someone's not integrating their higher self? If at any time, just because you have the awareness that there's people not healing or that there's infiltration, that don't mean just go in your door, go in your house and shut out the rest of the world. That means get stronger. It's a call to get stronger. It's a call to develop your spiritual muscles. It's a call to develop your discernment. And it's a call for you to say, oh, okay, yes, there are some people in the community that might not be healing properly, but I'm healing properly. I have the desire to heal properly. I have the desire to continue to heal, to evolve, to continue to develop my discernment. So therefore, I also have the desire to attract to me those who are for my greatest good and who have the highest energies at heart, who also want to be of service, who also want to assist other people in healing. So if you're aware that there's some distortion or degrading energies present, well, raise your vibration so we could be bringing forward the groups and ascension teams, like let us move forward. And yeah, I could tell you there's not, we're going to keep everybody's just going to get along. Everybody's not going to get along. There's some distortions we should not be getting along with. There's some degrading energy we actually should not get along with. That's where discernment comes in. So those of us who are making it our heart-centered focus to want to evolve, to want to be of service to others in creation, those of us with the violets, the golds, and the blues in our aura, and the magentas, let's all get together because we are demonstrating that desire and that heartfelt focus to heal and ascend and unite in a loving manner. And even if those who do present with degraded or distorted energies that still need healing, we are preparing ourselves to be able to assist you. It's not about getting rid of them. They do need healing, but it is also about being aware so that we don't bring these people in and let them continue to serve as leaders in our community. Because a lot of the leaders in our communities, in our systems, in our platforms are not healing properly. So again, making that clear within yourself, that is what's going to help you be guided to other people who are healing. Being clear within yourself what type of people you want to interact with. And then not negotiating with distorted energies and people who are possessed. Not making excuses for them, not being in denial when you got little red flags going off, or things that they said, or things that they're doing, or behaviors. There are certain behaviors that are toxic. There are certain behaviors that people do who only do when they're not integrating with their higher selves. So it's time for us to stop ignoring that just because so-and-so is supposed to be a healer, teacher, and a shaman and a planetary grid worker, but you are actually physically witnessing behaviors that are not healthy and toxic or demonstrating that they're integrating their higher selves. You got to look beyond the facade or the mask or the way they present themselves. Can you feel their heart? If you can't feel their heart, whether or not you need to still develop your discernment, or if you're getting a message that something's out of alignment, meditate on that and see what your higher self is guiding you to do. Maybe it's not to work with them so much. Doesn't mean you can't be friends. Maybe encourage them to heal. It just depends on what guidance you're receiving. But have to. There's certain lines with people I've interacted with or crossed that boundary. We might not be that close in this realm anymore till we get back up to the 6 and the 7. But don't be fearful about it, is what we want to say. Don't be fearful about it. People are having a hard time. People are just trying to find their balance. And some people need more healing than they realize they need. So have compassion. Have compassion, but also have your boundaries. So another message, pick up your head, walk bravely, walk courageously, walk forward, keep going, pick up your head, and know that every day is a step in the right direction. Every day is a step in the right direction. If something is arising in your life that makes you feel uncomfortable or shameful or overwhelmed, accept it as an opportunity to get clarity and healing first within yourself, to become an active participant in shifting your personal and the collective reality. At this time, higher timelines are available to each person, each and every one of us. There are higher timelines available. If you feel in despair, if you feel overwhelmed, if you feel like you're in your dark night of the soul, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Look and feel for any moments of comfort and peace. As you tune into this energy, there is support and guidance waiting for you to assist you onto the higher timeline. It's available now. It's a process. Have patience. Receive the guidance out. You will be supported, escorted, and walked through your situation. But have patience. Don't expect that, like an angel's supposed to come pick you up and put you over here. It doesn't work like that. But they will support you and protect you and guide you out of your situation through your purification process, through your transition. So I do think that was all. I think that was all of the messages. Again, get out in nature. Go to a grid site, go to a grid point. Oh, okay, yes, thank you. There was one more message. So we're going to close with this. My apologies. We're actually going to close with a message. They're reminding me, look, I'm not done. I still got to close with the bat activation. So we're going to close with the bat activation after I give a message. This is an energy being sent to the people of, look, the first thing I was going to say Lemuria, but the people of Hawaii and Maui. Hold on, let me share that with you so you can see it as well. So the energy of the white buffalo came forward to assist with further healing for the people of Maui and Hawaii. Gentle wisdom, peaceful resolution, and easy gain. You are being supported through this transition, through this dark time, through this dark night of the soul. The peaceful energy of white buffalo stands with you. Buffalo, the great provider, offers sustenance to one and all. White buffalo signifies a time of peace. It is a time to embrace natural ways and learn from the wisdom contained within the Earth's ecosystem. It is a time of unity, healing, and restoration, knowing that one and all can and will be provided for. You do not need to struggle to survive. The buffalo is an incredible animal with a power that is inherently known, not through exertion. It is a bringer of great truths and converts knowledge into wisdom. This mandala brings the message that you are the great provider in your life and heralds abundance and fruition for those that choose to walk the path of peace. Remember that peace begins with the self. As the great energy of manifestation and abundance is with you, carefully choose how you wish to create your world. They have a chance and an opportunity to recreate something magnificent. With this energy at your side, wanting and yearning, give way to a much lighter energy. Feel your desired outcome and thus create it. Balance is the principle with this mandala, as the peace pipe is balanced at its center. Simplify your world and let the peaceful energy of White Buffalo bring balance and harmony for one and all. This oracle also presents as a powerful yes to those seeking guidance of the heart. Follow your heart now, as the mandala speaks of a time of plenty. So take a deep breath, tuning into the energy of the White Buffalo. Close your eyes, slow down your breath, and bring awareness to your third eye. Time spent in reflective meditation enables you to wholly see yourself. Feel the peace that comes from knowing the infinite soul that you are. Whilst in this space, you may receive a visit from White Buffalo Calf Woman. She is the keeper of the sacred peace pipe and the White Buffalo. Be open to receiving and allow yourself to be guided. This mandala works powerfully as a manifestation tool. Create a grid with the White Buffalo mandala. You can do this by placing crystals or pieces you have gathered from nature in a circle. Write down your intentions and an action plan on how you wish to move forward, and place these at the center of your grid with the White Buffalo card on top. You can always take a screenshot and print this out as well. Finish by offering your heart's appreciation for all that is received. Another thing you can add, another element you can add to this grid, especially with it being the water energy and the Lemurian energy, is a symbol of Neptune.